Good evening, good morning. Yeah, like the title says, it's time for me to cut up, y'all. Shit. Yeah, started it already. To the nice two people that are up in the clouds, thank you for being here so much. There's a lot of things I'm going to get off my chest this morning, this early April the 23rd. And I'm going to try to have some fun with it too, y'all. It's not going to be all doom and gloom. It's just the way I feel about YouTube and the things that go on YouTube nowadays. Me being such an old fuddy-duddy. Shit. Yeah, I love the life I live, and I'm going to live the life I love. Yep, it's one of those mornings, people. Been watching a lot of things on YouTube, and it's time for me to have some fun with it now. And to all those that want to leave a comment in the chat or ask questions, I'll be willing to do that with you tonight. You know, I know the trolls are going to be out too. They're never sleep, no matter what. Okay, y'all. Let's get busy. Let's get started. You know, I'm sitting up here farting. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon around the world. I know it's a different hour, different times. And that's another thing. We do go all over around the world, and we get comments from people that say, why aren't you talking more? Why aren't you doing this more? Why aren't you doing that more? Well, let's put it this way. When I have something to say, I'll say it. And tonight I have a little bit to say. It's not going to be much, but it's going to be fun. Believe it or not, I got asked to join the YouTube partnership program. And like I said before, no thank you. I'm not going to be controlled by some conglomerate to where I see now all the people on here are striking each other. They're taking people's pages down because they have a difference of opinion, or they're circumventing the same old news broadcast and all that. And there's also AI working into the situation where people really don't want to look at it that way. I found out that AI is not stable. It's not really reliable, and you can be hit for using an AI or regenerating another person's likeness and all that. That constitutes and harasses bullying and all that other good crap. So I would rather much stay kind of independent. If somebody strikes my channel, it's because I know why. You know, they don't like you. They don't like me. They don't like the things that we say. And I particularly don't like the idea of posting people's dead relatives, posting about a person's child, even doing nudities and stuff like that. I've been talking to an attorney for the last 3.5, 4 years, and about YouTube, and why is it such a big monster out here on the StreamYards and all that? That's because they're getting paid advertisement. And let's talk about the advertising, folks. You sit up there and you put advertisements in your live streams. Now, do you know that they pop on a lot? They pop on an advertisement while your live stream is going live, and there's a lot of things that people might miss out on. A lot of things that people might miss out that you're saying. There's no pause for the cause, as they say. There's no wait a minute, we'll be right back. They have that right to do that because, hey, that's their company. And you bought into their way of doing things. There's no freedom anymore. We are controlled on here, believe it or not. And I don't care what anybody says. When you work for a company, you have to abide by the rules. And that's the way a lot of people have been trying to do on these platforms, especially my beefing platform, the Black Sector platform, and all that other good stuff, where people have been on here for years and years and years, and they know the ins and outs, and they can do little things to you, even if it doesn't mean enough. You know, when you get to be so big, they get jealous and they want to strike you. I wish a lot of YouTube would bring back, and they said they're bringing it back, the thumbs down, because there's a lot of videos on here that I really would thumbs down. But that's never an option. You know, everybody's worrying about having their thumbs up. You know, it's okay in a way, but when you're doing horrendous and atrocious things on here, you got LSA, you know, you got people that'll come on here and dox other people, put their real names out there. And even if you put your own real name out there, like I did a few years back, they still want to try to go in there and say and do things to you. And if my voice sounds different or raspy tonight, that's because I've gotten older. I've gotten allergies, and once again, these damn tonsils are acting up. So that's a lot of the raspiness in my voice. I'm drinking apple juice right now to try to keep from, you know, sounding too bad. But nevertheless, like I said, it's time for me to cut up. I was listening to YouTube today, and I heard of quite a few things about people. And let me reiterate, I listen to everybody that I can. I don't sit up there with 3 or 4 monitors or 3 or 4 phones and try to listen to everybody's different live. If I'm interested, I'm coming to see you. If you got something in the title worth looking at, I'll look at it. But there's another thing. I don't use IG. I don't use, you know, as I say, Instagram. I don't use all this other stuff to keep in touch with people off of YouTube. Now, I have 2 people that I do have their numbers. They have mine, but that is because of things that we don't really talk about YouTube. And you know, one is one person that I really care about. She's in convalescing. The other person, she's just a person that I met because of the music. And that's another thing. My music platform, I'm not trying to promote that. I do, everybody knows I do what I do on music, but I also like to come on here now and speak up when a person speaks out or says something stupid, you know. Now I have, like I said, I have tons and tons and tons of people on my, you know, sub list, the way I'm sub to. Some I can get to, some I don't get to. And like I said, it's all because the mood I'm in. How do I feel about things? And going on next week, weekend after next, really, being the age I am, excuse me, the age I am, the feelings that I have sometimes, now that I know I'm older, I've gotten older and I'm getting older. I want to leave you younger people with thoughts about growing old. When you get old, what happens to you? You know, you think you're going to live forever. That's a reality I left a long time ago. I know I'm not going to live forever, but have I lived long enough? Yeah, to some people, they'll get on here and say, yeah, you lived long enough. But then again, I look at the same people, some of the same people that have said those atrocious things that are no longer here with us anymore. So you have to be careful. Words do mean a lot to people on here. If you can't encourage somebody once in a while, don't try to discourage them, because as sure as what goes around comes around, that is the truth. Uh, Karma is something that reflects on all of us. It touches us one way or the other. You know, we all have things going on in our family life that we get on here and we don't want to talk about, but sometimes it slips up and we talk about it. That's because we need people to give their condolences and say that they're sorry. In other words, you show humanity. Hello, Grandma Love. How are you? Glad you dropped in, dear. We have to have people to be able to say, like I said, my condolences to you. I'm sorry. But we also have to be able to tell people that you love them. The word love doesn't mean that you want to be with a person physically. It doesn't mean that you want to have sex with him. You know, you equate love, and I've been noticing people on here referring to Jesus, how everything is getting holy and religious. Myself, I'm a believer. If you do things right, you will be blessed. No matter what entity you think that's doing it to you, you will be blessed. Uh, One thing I do know, politics and religion do not mix. They do not mix at all. Um, we've seen that here lately when the president tried to picture himself as more than what he was on his social media page. There was a lot of backlash on that. I myself, I look at it as forgive him for he knows not what he does. You know, that's my take on it, and I'm going to continue that. Yeah, you know, we can holler about he's our elected president, but let's look at why he was elected. The reasons, the things that was said during the campaign, and also the real reason. No one wanted a woman as president of the United States. And I'm going to have to say, even you women didn't follow you didn't follow your heart. You followed your mind. You followed the rhetoric that this man gave and the things that he done. But it's over now. We have to deal with it. Like I said, it's going to take all of us to admit our mistakes when it comes to the election. Did I vote for him? I'm going to be honest with you. Hell no, I didn't. But when I look at things the way that they fell through, this country is really going ass backwards now. For some reason, I don't know why the country is going ass backwards. There was a time when people used to help people, you know, get out there and they were concerned. Neighborhoods, especially when we talk about Black people in the neighborhoods. We had a reason to help a family lift themselves up, to help them pay their rent, their light bill, even to watch a child down the street doing something. We could say something to him and he would say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, no, sir, no, ma'am. Those days are gone. Let's face it. Those days are really gone, except in a few rare instances. And do we talk about those all the time? No. We like to get out there and see all the badness that goes on, all the stupidity that we do in this world instead of the goodness. That fight on YouTube, heard around the world, seen around the world. But it was one of the stupidest things I ever seen two grown men, and I'm going to talk about them, do in my life. Both of you 60 years old, damn near 60, and you're out here like high school kids. You know, it doesn't make any sense. What point do you have to prove? What do you got to prove to the world about being a man? The only thing about being a man is you take care of business, you take care of family, you take care of those that you love. You don't argue with another man, especially about his money. You don't argue with another man about his woman. You don't argue with another man, period. What you need to do as men is try to show the young people on here how to get along. Even if you don't like each other, show some camaraderie, but no. And then again, we pushed it. We all pushed it. Even I said, damn, go get them. Nah. But let me tell you something about myself. At this age that I'm at, you can holler at me all you want. Come see me, come do this. I'm not going I'm not doing it. I'm not coming anywhere to fight with you. I'm not coming anywhere on this apparatus to get it recorded about who hit who first, who can sue first, or end up like that couple in Las Vegas. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. Now, how do I feel about somebody coming to see me? Well, come on. Excuse me, like I said, it's my tonsils. I mean, come on, if you want to come see me, but don't come here to try to fight or whip my ass. Because I guarantee it's not going to be pretty. I didn't live 3/4 of a century to have some little stupid old try to prove a point to somebody here on these YouTube platforms that they can whip this old man's ass. Because let me tell you that my days of fighting are over with. I won't do my fighting fist to fist, cup, anything else. Because if you come here, I'll have that's true. I'm not going to nobody's house to fight, number one. And if you come here to fight me, then all bets are off because I'm too goddamn old to be trying to fight with you. Now that's simple as that, And besides, anyway, I have enough nieces, nephews, grandchildren, and all that. Believe you me, that are just as crazy as I am, that will come and be sitting here waiting on you. And I wouldn't have to lift a finger. Because when you love your family and your family loves you, then you don't worry about this bullshit going here on YouTube. I got a buddy right now, and she gets on my tail when we go places and do things. Why you always listen to that bull crap? I just say it's a form of entertainment, which it's supposed to be, but a lot of times it does go dark. People get to the point to where We're trying to prove something in life. I don't have anything to prove in life. I've lived my 75, hopefully next week we got the next 76 years to my utmost ability as far as helping people, being around people, entertaining people even, and working. Now, people have to realize when you work all your life and your Social Security is about ready to drop in, there are a lot of things you have to do. There are a lot of things you have to be cognizant of. And sometimes we forget, you know, in order to collect Social Security, there are two things. You have to work for it. And when you get to an old age, retire, you get it. Then there's some people that are born that can't work. So the government set up a system. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I was never told to go home. To no one's home. You're right. No one's home and fight with them. It's crazy. It's crazy. And like I said before, you talking about coming here doing something to me. Well, the only thing, I'm going to go back to the old folks saying, God bless you, Jones will dress you. And Jones was our funeral director out in Hopkins Park back in the day. So I'm not looking for anybody to have a fisticuff with, especially on these damn YouTube apparatus, recording it and all that bullshit. No, I'm not doing it. Another thing, like I said, when we get old, we're in retirement. There are two things we can do. We can travel with our money, or we can keep on surviving like we've been surviving. Social Security doesn't really pay everybody that much. Even with your VA benefits, you don't get that much, people. Let's face it. The economy is still going up. Things are getting higher. And the senior citizens are really being left out. I look at young people, I listen to them today, and I'm just wondering, where are you going to be at 25 years from now? Even at age 50, 25 years from now, where are you going to be at? I came to YouTube at a late age because I was out there busy working. I didn't do a lot of things. First time I think I was on YouTube was back in 2014 or 19. But I was with a young lady and she was getting ready for church. And I recorded it and I uploaded it on a YouTube platform. I didn't have any people, at that time you had to have, I didn't know, 1,000 in order to be able to go live on YouTube and all that. But it's up there. Like I said, YouTube is a partnership. Yep, and it's a business. But now people are treating it, they're not treating it as a business. To me, they're using it to tear down other people. Like I said, you go around doxing, you go around talking about people's kids and all this stuff. And it hurts, it hurts us as a whole, Gone are the days when men really respected each other, women respected each other, and man and woman respected each other. Those days are gone. But that doesn't mean that you have to put up with it. That doesn't mean you have to like it. There's a lot of things I don't like. And it's time for me to start changing it. And when I mean change it, I mean going to a legislator. Because in the county where I live at, there are a lot of government officials and people and news and stuff to where, as a senior, I realize now that I can go to and complain and somebody will listen. It may get up there after I'm gone, or it may get up before I'm gone. But you can do things, people, to get things right when it comes to people harassing you, people bullying you, and even you young people, you young women. You can get it done. Just don't brag about it so much. I hate it when a person says, I struck his page, I struck her page. For what? I don't know. We are our worst enemies. A lot of people say we are our worst enemies, but there's such a thing as reeling it back some. You know, yeah, I remember a time when people used to roast each other and they did skits on here and it was funny. But it has gotten darker. Nobody wants to admit it. They're still on here begging for the likes, but the big corporations are putting the commercials in your live stream. And really, believe it or not, some of it gets cut out. The things that you try to say to people. I'm never going to click on a commercial. I'm not trying to stop you guys from hearing the whole conversation. People fall off, they come back up, they fall off. That's the norm. It doesn't matter. But I bet you if I was sitting up here talking about Uncle Claude, MU, Pizarro, and all them, put their name in the title, I'd have probably had 2 or 3, 30 or 40 people in there. You see what I'm saying? It's not necessary. I want to let the content creators know, the people that I do listen to, I'm going to go where I want to go. I'm not going to sit up and try to isolate myself to one specific area on this YouTube, because there's a lot of areas where people can go and listen to things. And at my age, I'm going to have fun in life. Now, like I said, I'm subscribed to a lot of people. And we know we can go on here and look to see who other people, subscribe to us. Would I be mad because Uncle Claude is subscribed to Jay Wilson? No, that's his right. Am I mad because Pizarro is subscribed to Lemon? No, that's her right. Am I mad because people don't get along? No, that's all part of the game. But you're not going to have me mad with a person because you're mad with them. I'll put it that way. If I'm mad with a person, I'll stay away from them. I'll watch them, but I won't be dropping in their chats as much or at all than I would somebody else's. That's, as James would say, my Pennsylvania privilege. And James, I hope your vacation went well or whatever. I haven't seen you in a while, and I wish you the best. Grandma Love, you know how I feel about you. And even just Krista. Yes, Krista, I'm going to tap you on the shoulders. And I'm going to say you're doing a little bit too much, dear. That's all. I'm not telling you what to do or how to do it. But for me, I can't really listen like I used to. I'll do replays and I'll let you know I'm doing replays. But right now, I'm trying to be happy. Lady Nika, I understand what you're going through, dear. I know this. I've been through it many, many a times. Just praying for you, dear. Even so, love you, your court ideas, and that's fun for me. Like I said, I like to go somewhere and have fun. Excuse me. Debating is one thing that we need to learn how to do without all the over talking. That's another thing. These panels. Everybody wants to be heard, but nobody wants to listen. Sometimes when they get to be too much, even for me, I have to shut it down because I can't hear 4 or 5 people talking at the same time. I'd rather be here on my platform talking. If people want to listen, they'll listen. If not, okay. I don't plan on having 6 or 7, 8, 9, 10 people up here and no one can't get a word in edgewise. Everybody wants to be the loudest. I've learned through life that the loudest person doesn't really have much to say. And that's the truth. I've also learned in life that lying doesn't get you anywhere. So why lie about things? Why sit up and make up a lie about a person when you know it's not true? And then you're afraid to use your real name, which I understand that. But yet we got each other's phone numbers. We got each other's Instagram, each other's Gmail, email, and all that bull crap. Back and forth, back and forth. But when you get mad with a person because you don't agree with what they're saying about another person, and you're on the phone talking about that same person, that's bullshit. To me, that's bullshit. Talk more to your families off of YouTube instead of people on YouTube. Get in touch with reality. A lot of people say go out and smell the grass. Oh boy. A lot of people can't go out and smell the grass because they don't have a way to do it. Have you ever thought of that? Some people can't smell the grass because they may have a sinus congestion or things like that. Some people aren't able to touch grass because maybe they're confined to a wheelchair. The best thing to do is just to go outdoors and be yourself. That's it. If you can walk, you walk. Even if you have to be in a wheelchair, you roll around, you get around, being in a scooter. There's nothing wrong with getting old being in a scooter. Lolo, I want to tell you, you inspire me as a woman. You really do. We know you have problems, but I'm not going to make fun of that. because I have people in my family with spina bifida. You see what I'm saying? So why should I make fun of you when I have a cousin or a nephew or niece with the same conditions? I also have people like Uppity in my family. We love her, you know, but at times she doesn't make sense. And there's no shade to Uppity. But the realization of it is it's a world. It's a world of fantasy. It's a make-believe up in her head. We talk about going to see psychiatrists. Do you know there's some people that a psychiatrist cannot help? That's why we have mental institutions. That's why you have people taking care of them at times. There's a reason and logic for everything. But when you feel as though there's no hope, that's when you really need to start worrying. Do I believe in hope? Yeah, I've always believed in hope. I'll continue believing. I may not be here to see it, but the world's going to be a better place. And there are going to be big changes made. But we just have to be patient with ourselves. You know, do I want to cut up? Nah, I don't really want to cut up. I just want to cut out some of the stupidity that I think about at times. And for me, in order for me to do that, I need to have to look at things more seriously. You know, don't worry about how a woman's hair looks when she has a camera slip, because to me, all people are beautiful. All women, and even you men. I'm not saying you're beautiful, and don't equate this to being quote unquote gay or anything. But there are some guys out there that the women consider handsome and nice looking. And then I look at them and say, hey, they're ordinary to me. So what can I say? I'm not a woman. I look at all women differently than men do. But I'm not going to sit up here and look at a man the way a woman does. Let's get that straight. Oh, I don't know. Like I said, there's a lot of shit going on YouTube right now. And I'm trying to pick out the best from the worst. But that's okay. That's okay. I'm still going to be here. I'm still going to be listening. And to people like Hypnotic Touch, Miss Dee Love, even Big Man TV. Yes, you too, Big Man. Like I said, I got caught up in a lie that somebody told. And I thought you had passed. I see you're alive and well. And you're still doing your thing. And I got to give you credit. You are smarter than I am on these YouTube streets. Far as putting up things, you know, I don't have time to learn all that anymore. Because I'm not going to be in competition with anybody. I'm not as young as I used to be. But I will still fight for your right to party. Okay? And just because I don't jump out there and agree with everybody, and people ask me about things in the past, and I just laugh now, because it's not worth it. It's not worth it. At 76, I heard Bazaar and them talking about age earlier today. I wanted to jump up there and talk about mine. Nah. They know I'm an old man on YouTube. But one thing about it, at going on 76, I'm still in my right mind. You know, I don't suffer from dementia. A lot of things I don't want to remember because they were too traumatic. But there's a lot of good things that I can remember and still smile about it. And no matter how old a person gets, if you can't laugh at yourself, then goddamn it, you don't need to be here. And a lot of times I laugh at myself. So with that being said, I'm going to get off here, and believe it or not, I'm going back to doing my little gaming. I do gaming also. Excuse me. Like I said, I got tonsillitis. I've never had my tonsils out, and now they're flaming up on me again. And I know better. I'm not going to go in under the knife and surgery. I'll just put up with it up until, you know, the good man upstairs decides what to do with me on those. But I'm gonna get off here, and I'm gonna lay back and think about things. Probably two things I'll do. Either turn on my PlayStation. Yeah, I have a PlayStation at 75. Or I'll go back and watch a movie. And right now, I'd much rather watch a movie than I would do my, play on my PlayStation. And I'll get up in the morning. I'll listen to YouTube. I'll do a lot of replays now because, like I said, I'm going to quit doing lives with people. I'll let them know that I'm there, and, I'll give them their thumbs up. I'll say hello to people that I support, that you guys support. Otherwise than that, it's good to hear from you, honey. And you know what? I've been following you. I'm just looking at the chat right now. And I want to say thank you. Thank you. I've learned so much from you, believe it or not, Diva. I learned so much from you as a great woman, as a person that speaks her mind. Okay. You rest well, dear. I'm going to get off of here, like I said. Being as old as I am, I'm going to be outspoken on my birthday. I'm going to be very outspoken after my birthday. 76 years is a long time. And I'm going to go back on some fun times that I've had too. I'm going to go back on times that people wonder, how in the hell did you get out of that? Well, I don't know. By the grace of God, I went, and I'm still here. But you young people, when I say young, anything 20, 30, even 40 years younger than I am, to me, that's a young person. Let's try to be better. Let's try to be great. And if you want to be great, don't follow the leader. Become a leader. You don't have to agree on everything. Hell, our teeth and tongue fall out. We might bite our tongue with our teeth. But when we get angry, will we pull out every tooth out that bit our tongue? Nope, because you wouldn't have any teeth in your head. So You guys continue giving me the entertainment, and I'm going to try to give y'all guys the entertainment. And I'm so blessed to have wonderful friends on the outside, people that look after me, really. I do. To all those that I may have forgotten to mention your name, like I tell people, you can always go on my page and see who I'm subscribed to. I've met new people even. And I got to thank Lemon for that. We don't want to admit it. I got to thank Lemon for that. Because when you broke away and you did your thing, you brought a whole new world up here on the YouTube platform. And I appreciate that. And like I said, I wouldn't even know Diva Tomboyish. I wouldn't know her if it hadn't been for Lemon. Clyde, I knew of her. I wouldn't have known her if it hadn't been for him. There's no mess. We're all intertwined, people. That's what I'm trying to say. We can say, I don't listen to him, I don't listen to her, but yeah, we do. In some shape, form, or fashion, we listen to each other. And a lot of times I even get mentioned when I don't think about it. You know. And to my young lady that's always typing in the chat, guard my phone. Honey, trust me, I got insurance on my phone. And the VS. The only thing I'm going to say is take care of your health first, dear. Okay? Take care of your health first. I've seen some things and I've learned some things. But you have to take care of your health right now. It's not a premonition. It's what one of my relatives went through. And trust me, just take care of your health. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. To a lot of you women out there, take care of your health. The men too. God dog it. Take care of yourself. You know. ZX, I'm going to give you a piece of advice. As we get older, we get wiser. We don't try to prove anything. We just want to enjoy life and have life enjoy us. And when you can sit back and look at the things that bring you joy and happiness, maybe you'll be on here without all that hatred. I don't know where it built up from or where it stemmed from. But you're not an old man. You're not old. 60 is not old. It might seem, it might look that way, but in the eyes of the good Lord, you're still a baby. So with that being said, thank you guys for coming up. Grandma Love, you here. Miss Diva Tomboyish, Hollywood. Thank you, darling. Like I said, I look at you, I listen to you. And I thank you for dropping in on my platform tonight. And for those that are up in the clouds, as Uncle Gar say, thank you. I appreciate you. For all the replays that I get, I thank you. But I don't plan on being corporate. I don't plan on buying into the YouTube idea because I want this to run without a commercial. I want you people to hear every word that's being said, every little cough and all that. And really, what they're advertising on YouTube now, we can't really afford it. Oh, shit. The price of gas is too goddamn high to even go shopping. What can I say? Well, good night, y'all. Y'all take care.